now for a session presented by Hopper Cloud. Please welcome the Chief Strategy Officer of Hopper, Dakota Smith, in conversation with Skift Senior Research Analyst, Wouter Geertz.
Hi, everyone, and thanks, Dakota, for joining us today. You are the Chief Strategy Officer at Hopper, which is one of the, I think, most innovative travel companies out there. So I'm really looking forward, actually, to talk a little bit of strategy with you today. Hopper launched the Hopper Cloud earlier this year, and it allows travel companies to integrate Hopper's Fintech products into their tech infrastructure. And I think until just before the pandemic, you were predominantly used by travelers to really track flight prices, book when it's the best time. So tell me a little bit more about sort of Hopper Cloud and the company's journey into the more of the B2B space.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for having me, and thank you for hosting this talk. So that's right. So Hopper was originally known for our price prediction algorithm. We created an app that would let people receive push notification alerts on price volatility, basically. We started with flights, and we launched that app in 2015. And it's been a long journey since then, an iterative journey for sure. Hopper's evolved to a lot more than just flight price prediction since then. Even on the travel booking side, we now have hotels and car rentals and other things. But I would say at our core, we always kept that data science core competency, the same thing that led us to start with the data product. And then we kind of took that a step further. So in 2019, we started working on a suite of risk-based Fintech products that could give customers, value for their money. Because, honestly, one problem that Hopper had with the flight price prediction and the price prediction value proposition was that it was free. So it was very difficult for us to monetize our user base. A lot of customers would just open their laptop and go directly back to their number one booking platform of choice to complete the booking. So we kind of challenged ourselves, like, how can we create data products that customers will willingly and gladly pay for? And those are what we launched in 2019. And now a few years later, that's led us to Hopper Cloud, which is, distributing those products to partners.
I mean, that's really interesting. If we switch sort of to if you like, the end consumer, I think traveler behavior really no longer looks anything like what it was in 2019, right? So has Hopper seen sort of any changes in how people travel or plan their travel, and can you be more specific about sort of what you've done in your business to meet those new demands?
Yeah, in some ways, it was a perfect time to launch these products. We started working on them in 2019, started launching in late 2019, early 2020. And in other ways, it was obviously the worst time in history to launch a suite of risk-based products. But that said, they were doing really well before the pandemic, and they were positioned really well for the changing traveler needs, is something that we discovered. So when I'm talking about these Fintech products, like the first one that comes to mind is we created a product called Price Freeze, where if you see any price you like, you can lock it in for up to 21 days. What the customer's actually buying is a financial option, where Hopper takes the other side of the trade, which is why there's financial risk. If the price goes up, we pay the difference in full to the supplier. That product, we thought it was really interesting when we started working on it in 2019. But since the volatility from COVID and the uncertainty in the market, when people aren't sure if they can travel, aren't sure if they should travel, don't know what the restrictions may be, that extra flexibility, it's really taken off. So that's one example that comes to mind.
Yeah, I guess the sort of the Fintech product really fit in sort of the zeitgeist, right? Like you say, of pandemic travel. There's so much uncertainty, so much anxiety. I mean, I guess we're not out of this yet, but can you talk a little bit about sort of Hopper's growth strategy moving forward? Is the travel industry big enough for sort of the products that you're launching now, or are you looking beyond it?
We think the travel industry is big enough. It's obviously a large category with a lot of customer spend. That said, that is one reason we're doing Hopper Cloud. The Hopper app is doing very, very well. For young persons, Gen Z, younger millennials here in North America. But we, of course, know that a lot of travel is booked outside of Hopper. A lot of it is booked, supplier direct. Our products, however, we think can add value to customers wherever they are in the journey. So we've taken those risk-based fintech products, we've kind of packaged them together in a B2B business unit inside Hopper that we call Hopper Cloud. And we're partnering with, honestly, anyone who has customers who want to buy travel or are interested in travel fintech products to make them available on their own websites or on their own mobile apps even. And that's been really, really exciting. So products like price freeze, cancel for any reason protection, change for any reason, disruption protection. This is a new initiative that we actually launched only a few months ago, and the early results are already pretty fantastic.
Can you is there a way for you to put some numbers to that? I think there's been written a lot about sort of your foray into fintech and how important that has become for Hopper. We've written about as well. I wonder if you could put some numbers to it, but also beyond that, what do you think? Does this what you're going through, does that show sort of a broader promise of fintech services in the travel industry?
Yeah, I can put some numbers to it, absolutely. So since launching in 2019, those products have now grown to be about 50% of Hopper's entire revenue. And honestly, it's at a higher margin than most underlying travel products for us as well. There's some crazy stat. It's something like 70% of the customers in the Hopper app who are checking out purchase at least one of these products. On average, they purchase almost 2 per order. So the net impact on the average order value is that they're spending about 10% of the trip cost on Hopper's own fintech ancillary products, which is about $40 to $50 additional per cart order. And the great news is they're happy about it. Once you buy one of these products, customers are 600% more likely to buy them again if presented in the booking flow and shopping flow. So those were the results, we're sharing with partners, on the Hopper Cloud when we're having those discussions to say, look, we have validated the customer interest. People are willing to spend money. They're willing to buy these again. They're happy that they bought these products. Let's work together to create a win-win situation and some meaningfully compelling revenue. And we have launched with several partners already. I think there's two partners that we've launched with. And the results we're seeing there look very, very similar, if not better than what we're seeing in the Hopper app, presumably because their customer bases who might be even more willing to spend than the young customers that Hopper targets typically.
I mean, that's really interesting, and I mean, I think we've got about two minutes left, so I just wanted to finish with that point actually. I mean, tell me why it makes sense for a company, and that could be a travel company or any other company, I suppose, to sort of integrate with Hopper's fintech products and put that into their own offerings. Why would they work with you guys?
I would say the first thing is customers like the products. It's easy to integrate them with us. Hopper takes on all of the financial risk. So they're risk-based products, and we are taking care of that part. And that's what our data science and our modeling of willingness to pay and pricing the risk, that's where that specialty and expertise comes into play. There's a generous revenue share. So it's a great way to increase the revenue, increase the customer spend, increase the customer loyalty in a way that's value additive that, isn't very typical. And again, I think it all comes back down to what customers want to do. So if we can earn more revenue and give customers a product that they want to do, and it's easy to integrate, I think it's smart to reach out to Hopper to see what we can do together.
Great. Dakota, thank you so much for joining us today. I think you guys are doing some really interesting work. For everyone else, if you want to learn more about how you can integrate Hopper Cloud's products into your platform, you can visit their showcase page here on the platform. And for now, thanks very much, Dakota, and everyone, thanks very much for tuning in.
Thank you.